remember telling her, you gonna make me slap the sugar honey iced tea out of you. And girl, I meant that with every fiber of my being. In that space, baby, you can't be a part of my circle. You just can't. Because when I go to the left, I end up in handcuffs. When I tell y'all I thank God for his grace and his mercy, I thank God for a changed attitude. I thank God for a new thought process. I could be doing life.
Sometimes we laugh, sometimes we cry.
Hey ladies, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ivy and this channel is Women's Life with Ivy. And girl, I like to say to you, hey boo.
Only one night though.
And if you're a returning subscriber, hey boo.
I shook a shots one night, let the tears fall down one night. Only one night though.
So girl, as y'all can see by the title, girl, I love when I tell story times because girl, I don't know, it just do something to me. Anyways, this is a story about how she thought she was gonna talk to my man and I went ballistic. I was young and dumb. That's what I'm gonna say. I was young and dumb. So, ooh, how old was I? I was young. I was really young. I was in my teens. So I was dating this guy, and me and this guy, you know, when you young like that, it's puppy love. Ain't nobody going, you know, I'm just trying to show y'all, like, it's been a pattern in my behavior until I decided to do something different in my life, until I decided to respond different in my life, right? So I remember me and this guy was talking, and you know how it's a new kid on the block. And so I guess out of all the guys, she thought he was the cutest. I guess he was in my eyes, but I guess she thought the same thing. So anyway, girl, she messed around and wrote her number on a piece of paper, and I seen it. Girl, I said to him, what's his name gonna be? Tyrone. Let's just say Tyrone. So I said, did she just give you her number? He was like, yeah. You know, boys are so dumb. They don't, you know, it's not like today where they be trying to hide in it. Put what they do, put a girl's name in their phone up under a guy name, yeah, stuff like that. So we ain't even have cell phones back then. So anyway, I go to her and I said, did you just give him your number? And she was like, yeah. She was like, just as friends. I said, he don't need no friends. He got me. You know, I'm telling y'all, when I was young, I was so arrogant. It was all about me. Girl, I was a sweet person. I was. But don't bother me and I won't bother you, basically. You know what I'm saying? And you trying to talk to him was bothering me. So anyway, I ain't say nothing. I mean, I said something to her, you know, whatever, friends, whatever. And we went on about our business, kids, you playing. And I hadn't even had my daughter, so I had to be about 15 or something like that. So anyway, we all go to a park. They got a thing that's called Mayor Summer Youth, and that's where if your income is not as much as other people's incomes, your family, your mom, your dad, or whatever, you can work during the summer and get extra money. So we all was assigned to the same place because we all lived in the same area. Girl, oh my God, my cousin Missy will remember this. I'm gonna call her when I get off of here. So anyway, girl, I'm not gonna tell you. She all up on him. We playing games. We're supposed to be supervising the kids, you know, baseball and dodgeball, stuff like that. So it's almost like camp counselors, but we at the park. You know what I'm saying? Girl, she all up on him. I'm talking about Daisy Dukes in the days. It's the same thing they wear now. We just had a different name for them. Daisy Dukes is exactly what it sounds like. Daisy Dukes, right? So, girl, I pick up a bat. I did. I'm just gonna tell y'all about me. That's why I don't like to play. Even to today, I don't like to play. Because I know the little girl in me. And she ain't nothing nice. She ain't. Believe me when I tell you. So anyway, girl, I pick up this. It's hot in here. Because I got these lights on. The lights is hot. Because I actually have the air on. Girl, I commenced to beating her butt. I'm talking about beating her butt. When I tell you, it's a wonder I didn't go to jail. I don't know how the police wasn't called. I don't think I really beat her like that. I think I just hit her a couple times. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But it's like when you know who you are, right? You try to avoid situations, people, places, and things that'll bring you back to that person. You know, it's almost like the Incredible Hulk, David Banner. You know, he would say, you wouldn't like to see me when I'm angry. You know what I mean? Like, I'm minding my business. I ain't bothering you. Don't bother me. Because then you're going to wake up the beast. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I feel like even now in my today life. Don't bother me. I'm on my side of the street. I'm minding my business. It was this girl, lady, who had an event, and I wasn't invited. Why do people think because they have something and they don't invite you that it's gonna hurt your feelings? I wouldn't have went anyway if you had invited me. We don't even talk. You know what I'm saying? And so it was some other people there, and somebody's feelings got hurt, and you know, they were crying, they were upset because this is how bad what the person said hurt their feelings, you know. And it's like, I know this individual for years and years. You understand what I'm saying? So when you know how people trigger you or make you feel, because I remember telling her, you gonna make me slap the sugar honey iced tea out of you. And girl, I meant that with every fiber of my being. Thank God for deliverance. What? Oh, thank Lauren. She's sitting there listening to my story time. So thank God that I don't move the way I used to move. Some days I want to because people feel like they could say and do anything, right? So anyway, I told the girl, I'm sorry that happened to you. I've experienced her, but I ain't finna cry. You do something to hurt my feelings, baby, I'm gonna do something to hurt your feelings. I used to. I used to. I try not to do it no more. You know, to thy own self be true. Once you know who you are, you know, because even though, you know, when we accept Christ in our life, like here go the shift, right? Even when we accept Christ in our life, that don't mean that old person is gone. Don't be fooled. That old person is not gone. And baby, she is subject to cut up at any time. So that's why instead of reacting and responding the way I would or I have in the past, I just don't be around people like that. I just don't. You know, I remember, oh girl, I got stories for days. I remember me and this girl was fighting, and the girl, I was in the back seat. We had just came from Crystal Beach or something like that in Buffalo. It's a park. I don't even think it's open anymore, Crystal Beach. I'm gonna have to ask my aunt. But anyway, I'm dropping my sister off. My sister lives on the street. We're adults now. My sister lives on the same street she lived on, right? So I'm dropping my sister off. So now, this her street, so this her hood, so all her folks is there. I don't care about you or your folks. So me and her, so she come up, me and her get the fussing arguing. I'm standing by the back of the car window, the car door, because I was getting some stuff out, and I heard her, and it immediately made me turn around. So while we get to fussing and arguing, we started fighting. When we started fighting, I fell into the car. So, you know, the back seat, it ain't a whole lot of room. So, in my mind, she got the best of me. In my mind. Now, I ain't had no marks. I know I was swinging. I know I was wailing. But for some reason in my mind, she got the best of me. And baby, I tell you, I do not go upstairs by myself. I have, what is on me? I have to run some stuff by some folks, right? So anyway, that was that. That was the end of the fight. I got in my car. I left. I don't know what happened with her. Baby, that next morning, because I know you, like we all was cool, and for whatever reason, I can't even tell you how we fell out. Something with her kid's father or something. I can't help if he liked me. Ma'am, that's your problem. Please don't make it mine. So anyway, 7 o'clock that morning, I know your routine. You take your kids to daycare. Yep, I was up at 7:15. Followed her, right? Because this is her street. Okay, this is Northumberland. On Northumberland, you got East Ferry. So I'm waiting on East Ferry. I see her come out, and she turns, and I start driving. I let a car get in front of me, and I follow her. Girl, as soon as she dropped her car off, girl, I cut her off. I rammed into her car. I told her, get out the car. You had all that back. You had all that mouth. You thought you was doing something. Get out the car. Girl, she would not get out the car. She called the, look, I'm just going to tell y'all about me, girl, because I go to the left. Y'all think I be saying I go to the left for no reason? I know me. I will go to the left. Call the police. Police come. I get arrested because I got a warrant. I told her, she laughing, aha, B, that's why you getting arrested, this is that and the third. I said, baby, I will be out today, and you could best believe I'm going to see you. Yeah. Got out in a couple hours and was right back there on Northumberland. She would not come outside. She did not want to fight me. Like me and you standing square head up. She did not want to fight me. From that day to the last time I seen her, she did not want to fight me at all. Ma'am, because you already know how I get down. You already know. Girl, she ain't want to press charges for her car or nothing. Because, ma'am, I'll mess around and sexual. The streets is watching. So that's all I'm going to say. So when I tell you, I know exactly who I am. I know who I am. So I don't like people to play with me, and I don't put myself in spaces to be played with. That's why, you know, you never really see, like on my main channel, Boo Bougie, you never really see me hanging out with a bunch of people. You never see me and all my girlfriends stop by. You never see that on my channel. You will see different events on my channel where other people are around. But baby, I keep my circle real small, real pure, and real genuine. If you're not in a space where I am in my life, serving the Lord, loving the Lord, doing what it is, like the next right thing, if you're not in that space, baby, you can't be a part of my circle. You just can't. Because when I go to the left, I end up in handcuffs. I end up behind a prison wall, or not a prison, but a jail wall. Same thing to me, if you ask me. Locked up is locked up, right? So I just don't do that. Don't play with me and I won't play with you. And that's how we're going to end this. Don't play with me and I won't play with you. Oh yeah, so when I tell you, don't wake up the beast, don't poke the bear, and don't put me in your situations. I don't do all that he say, she say. If he said it, go ask him about it. If she said it, go ask her about it. Don't put me in the middle of what y'all got going on. That ain't none of my business. Look, I like my freedom. I like being able to drive past the police and ain't got to worry about my picture being inside their car and I'm who they looking for. That's number one. Number two, I ain't gotta worry about driving and thinking my plate's gonna be red, my license ain't right, my insurance. I just don't. Certain things I used to do when I was younger, I just don't do no more. You know, it's not beneficial to me. You know, and a lot of that back then was me proving a point. I don't have to prove a point anymore. I don't have to show you who I am. I don't have to suffer the consequences of showing you who I am. You know, it's a lot of people incarcerated right now because of respect. Because they want to show you who I am. They want to, you know, you said this or you said that. It's words. It's words. I remember, I'm telling you, when I tell y'all I go to the left, when I tell y'all I thank God for his grace and his mercy, I thank God for a changed attitude, I thank God for a new thought process, I could be doing life. Girl, I hit a girl in the head, and I'm not saying this to brag. I'm not saying it to brag. It almost brings me to tears just to think. I could have unalived that girl. I hit that girl in the head with a hammer. A hammer. Do you know how much rage you gotta have within yourself to exhibit that type of behavior? Girl, I remember being with the guy too. I told that guy, you better not tell her where I live. You better not tell her nothing about me. Because I didn't know her and she didn't know me. But she was coming at me. Ma'am, if you coming at me, I'm going to defend myself. You know, I remember it was this girl here, one of my best friends, her daughter. Ma'am, I don't care who you is. If you coming to hurt me, I'm going to defend myself. Girl, I picked up a hammer. I'm talking about since I've been here in Georgia. Girl, she called the police. Girl, me and her mama end up getting arrested. So when I tell you, now you ain't going to see a lot of people with me. You just not. Girl. Look, I don't need your problems to become my problem. I don't need whatever beef you got going on. You know, back in the days, if she didn't like you, then I ain't like you either. If I didn't like you, she ain't like you. I don't run like that no more. I don't. Look, if you don't like her, that's your business. She all right with me. That's how I am. That's how I live my life. You know what I'm saying? So, girl, when I tell you, and I think I said it before, I know I have because it's just stuff I say. God takes care of babies and fools. And I thank him for taking care of me. You know, it's like when I talk to my granddaughter, Lauren, she's sitting in there too. When I talk to her, I'm coming from a place of I know and I understand and I get it. I know exactly who you are. I know who you are. Baby, you looking at the mold. I know who you are. I've always been a fighter, and Lauren's not really a fighter. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about other behaviors of her. I recognize. You know, it's a saying, if you spot it, you got it, baby. I recognize you as me, baby. You your mama. Baby, you a can of mixed nuts right now. You don't know what's going on in your body. But I do. I do, you know. So, girl, you know, sometimes you gotta show people who you are so they know not to do what you did. Because people will show you what to do and what not to do. And this is simply me showing you what not to do. It's other ways to solve a problem. Number one, it takes a lot of growth to do the walk away. Nothing beats the walk away, right? When you get to a point in your life where you don't have to prove nothing, you don't have to let me show you who I am. Don't you know who you messing with? When you get to a point in your life, you don't have to do all of that.
You got to stay connected to your peace. even when there's no provision. Connected to your peace, even when it feels like they're out to get you. I got to stay in peace. That's the anchor that he gives them for this assignment. Protect your peace at all cost. Your peace is going to be what helps you to understand which relationships, which connections are important. If you don't have peace, you can't move forward. Because he gave them an assignment to prepare the way for him. And when you know that you don't just represent yourself, you represent God, you want to be careful about the environments you create for his presence.
You know what I'm saying? So anyway, baby, I just wanted to come. I didn't know it was going to spin like this. I thought I was just going to tell that little bitty piece of tiny story, and that was going to be it. But God do what he do. I tell y'all all the time, he let me say what I want to say, and then he say what he want to say. So, ladies, with that, that's it. That's my truth. I always stand in my truth. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. We are on the road to 1K. So make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe if you have not. Baby, we're trying to get this channel growing. We're trying to get this channel monetized. If you have not, if you think of anything, put it in the comments that you want me to discuss. Because, baby, if y'all leave me to my own devices, y'all gonna get some more stories like this. Some a little different, some a couple twists. Girl, but I'm always gonna be back. So I will see you next Thursday. I love you guys. Bye.
You can never be what I am, but as long as you with me, that's what it's gonna be.